Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
Charges have been filed in the shooting deaths of a Grand Forks police officer and another woman in an apartment where an eviction notice was trying to be served. 41-year-old Solomon Pendleton has been charged with 2 counts of murder, 3 counts of attempted murder, and 1 count of criminal mischief, terrorizing and reckless endangerment. This mugshot of Pendleton is from 2019 when he was arrested in Grand Forks. He faces life in prison if convicted on the murder charges. Stories are just beginning to surface as we learn more about the fallen officer, Cody Holte. He leaves behind a wife and 10-month-old son. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley talked with a local photographer who captured some of the Holte family's last memories.
Danielle Dice only just met the Holte family last summer, but says it was apparent from the beginning how dedicated and proud Cody Holte was of his service in both the Army National Guard and the Grand Forks Police Department, all on top of his new role as dad.
I always just say how honored I feel to be a part of any pictures, regardless of the session type, and just how privileged I am that they picked me to capture those moments.
While Dice only photographed the new family 3 times, she says they were more than just clients and has been heartbroken since learning of Holte's passing.
I look at my pictures and right now they bring a lot of heartache and sorrow, and that will always be there a little bit, but I'm hopeful that in the future it can also bring some of those positive, great memories back to light.
Dice's work is among the just 10 months worth of photos that Holte's son will have of the two together.
Hope that he knows how much of a hero his dad really is and will always be for him, and that just like in the picture holding his hand, he's still holding his hand. You know, he's still right there with him.
She says she's thankful she was able to be part of the Holte's life and provide such special memories, adding she hopes the community continues to wrap the family in love and support in the weeks and years to come. In Grand Forks, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
A memorial fund has been set up for the Holte family. The information is up on your screen. It's called the Cody Holte Memorial Fund, and it's at First State Bank. That's at 2500 32nd Avenue South in Grand Forks. We should point out that the fund is sanctioned and affirmed by the police department. This was the scene in Grand Forks this morning as the body of Officer Holte was escorted through the city. Grand Forks Police posting this video to their Facebook page showing dozens of emergency vehicles, including sheriff's deputies, police officers, fire crews, and paramedics, all driving through town. It wasn't just responders from the Northern Valley either. There were squad cars from around the entire region. A memorial for the fallen officer has now moved inside the Grand Forks Police Department. Flowers, cards, flags are all laid out across a table inside the lobby, and the flowers and flags are still being collected outside, as you can see, as the community still coming together to grieve. Well, our weekend is here, and with it comes a lot of graduations and related gatherings, and it's nice to know the weather should cooperate. Let's find out about Friday night's weather planner, and Hutch is here for that. Hutch?
Yeah, you know, the wind's starting to taper off a little bit for many of us right now, but we do have a few clouds out there and a chilly punch of air coming for the overnight as skies clear and the winds calm, perfect conditions for cooling. And in fact, we're going to see patchy areas of frost. Not everywhere where you see the blue is going to be completely covered in frost, but we will briefly dip down into those 30s, leaving a few spots suspect for that. So if you have fresh plants or you just bought some new flowers, you may want to cover them up. There is a look at the Fargo Dome. The Red Hawks doing a little fireworks display tonight. Here's what you can expect on the drive-in fireworks display there. Temperatures cooling off into the 50s by later tonight. So bring that light jacket if you tend to get a little on the chilly side. And it does look like the weekend does bring improvement to the weather once we get by our frosty start for some. I'll have details on that, Mike, here in just a few moments.
And Hutch, you brought up the fireworks display later tonight. We'll have details on that display coming up later on Valley News Live at 6. Thanks. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry has declared a nighttime curfew running from 8 tonight until 6 in the morning. Now that starts tonight and continues again Saturday and Sunday. There's an uneasy tension across that city right now where rioters, angry over the death of George Floyd, set a fire to a police precinct and other buildings overnight. This afternoon, one of the officers involved in his death has been arrested. Jay Gray has the very latest.
4 days after witness video shows his knee across the neck of George Floyd. Just minutes before Floyd's death, Minnesota police officer Derek Chauvin is now in custody.
He has been charged with third-degree murder. We are in the process of continuing to review the evidence. There may be subsequent charges later.
The arrest comes with pockets of the city still smoldering, locked down by police and the National Guard, Minneapolis on edge.
Generations of pain is manifesting itself in front of the world, and the world is watching.
This is what the world is seeing. An evacuated police precinct burning to the ground. Other buildings swallowed by flames or overrun by looters.
This is like a war zone in front of our eyes right now.
3 straight nights of protests, frustration spilling over and into the streets after Floyd's death.
They lynched him in front of everybody, and we all seen it.
Minnesota's governor promising justice with indications from the prosecutor other officers involved could face charges.
It is my expectation that justice for the officers involved in this will be swift, that it will come in a timely manner.
But many of those gathering each night say it's already taken too long.
If there would have been charges and somebody arrested right away, then this wouldn't have happened.
Now, many here worry.
You can't tell by the tone of my voice, the tears of my face, and I'm just saying that's how concerned I am
about what could come next.
A woman from here in the valley says that she was close friends with George Floyd and she's become fearful by the violence since his death. Vanessa Weber, who's from Wahpeton and lives in Minneapolis, says they met more than a year ago and described him as a funny and open guy. On Monday, when the death was first announced, Weber says she didn't know it was Floyd, but eventually authorities identified him.
I was devastated to see a friend of mine take his last breath in that way. No one deserves to die like that.
Weber added that the pockets of recent violence make her feel less safe in Minneapolis, and she adds that the rioting shouldn't make people lose sight of Floyd's death. Tomorrow, people in Fargo are expected to come together and march for George Floyd. It's starting at 10 a.m. at Island Park. The group also says it wants this event to be a peaceful one. Fargo Police Chief David Todd, in a video posted to the department's Facebook page, said his department supports the right to free speech, and it will do everything it can to support the march so that it has a positive outcome. 2 new deaths are being reported in North Dakota related to coronavirus. Both victims were from Cass County. One, a man in his 70s, the other, a woman in her 90s. That brings a total of 59 deaths in North Dakota linked to the virus. 45 of those deaths were caused by the virus, 7 people dying with the virus, and 7 death records are still pending. There are also 3 presumed positive deaths in the state, not reflected in the total death count. 40 more cases were reported today, bringing the active case count in North Dakota to 579. 1,882 people have recovered, and 36 North Dakotans are currently in the hospital. The progress made in North Dakota regarding COVID-19 cases is enough to lower the risk level. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum dropping it from moderate to low today. The governor indicating that with the exception of Cass County, all other counties in the state were meeting 7 requirements necessary to lower the risk.
When we took a look at Cass County, there's only 0.25% of the population of Cass County right now has an active case, and because of our contact tracing, we know where those folks are.
Moving to a lower risk level allows businesses in North Dakota to further open to the public. And for a complete explanation on that, go to ndresponse.gov. 29 more people have died in Minnesota from the virus, bringing the death toll to 996. 811 of those deaths happened in a long-term care facility. 590 more cases were reported today, bringing the active case count in Minnesota to 5,605. Nearly 17,000 people have recovered. Fargo police have identified the person found dead in a fire earlier this week. 38-year-old Emily Louise Willeen from Fargo was found dead inside a house along South University Drive on Tuesday. Investigators say no foul play is suspected. Well, this is a big weekend. Over the next couple of days, tens of thousands of diplomas will be handed out to graduates. That includes tonight's events involving Fargo and West Fargo students. In fact, the class of 2020 from Woodrow Wilson High School gets the weekend of celebrations started. So let's go live to Valley News Team's Callie Hubbard, who's there for that ceremony. Callie, what's going on?
Yeah, hi, Mike. This is unlike anything you, I, or pretty much any of us have ever seen before. 43 graduates from Woodrow Wilson are going to be making their way to the parking lot. A few of them have already started picking up their diplomas, so they're starting at the beginning here. They're making their way all the way down. I love these signs that the parents and teachers have created. One of them says, "Go on and be you, because you did it." Another one says, "Congrats, class of 2020. So they make their way all the way down, and I want to let you know that Fargo Public Schools did such a great job at making this so safe. Many people are socially distant. Pretty much everyone has masks on. And what they're doing is they're pulling up to my favorite part, the red carpet right here. They're going up, getting their diplomas, and taking a picture. It's just such an awesome day. And I also wanted to tell you about this young gentleman named John that I met. He said that these 4 years have been such a wild ride, and he lost his dad last November. So just having his mom and his dad in the car with him to kind of hug and celebrate meant the world to him. I'm going to send it over back to you, Mike, reporting live in North Fargo. Callie Hubbard, Valley News Live.
And Mother Nature is cooperating. Thanks, Callie. To see the schedule of graduation ceremonies this weekend, head over to the VNL News app. Later on Valley News Live at 6, higher education comes with a hefty price tag. Why it's important to understand what you'll be paying after graduating.
And some controlled burns going on, captured by our Fargo area time lapse today out to the southwest of the Fargo-Moorhead area. Temperatures a little cooler to close out the work week and a very chilly start on Saturday morning. I'll have hour-by-hour details on our temperature rebound, though, next.